You feel lost because you're about to become someone stronger. You feel lost right now, and that scares you. You don't feel clear. You don't feel confident. You don't feel sure about where you are going. You wake up with questions instead of answers. You feel like something in your life no longer fits, but you don't yet know what should replace it. Old goals don't excite you the same way. Old routines feel empty. Old versions of yourself feel distant. So you think something is wrong. But what if nothing is wrong at all? What if you feel lost because you are about to become someone stronger? Feeling lost does not mean you are failing. It means you are between versions of yourself. It means you have outgrown who you were, but you have not fully stepped into who you are becoming yet. That space feels uncomfortable. That space feels confusing. That space feels lonely. Most people panic in this space. They rush to fill it. They distract themselves. They run back to what feels familiar, even if it no longer feels right. But this space is not a mistake. It is a transition. You don't feel lost because you are weak. You feel lost because your old map no longer works. The directions that once guided you don't apply anymore. And until you build a new map, everything feels uncertain. Uncertainty feels scary. But uncertainty is where growth begins. Right now, your mind wants clarity. It wants answers. It wants guarantees. It wants to know exactly who you are and where you are headed. But strength is not built in certainty. Strength is built in confusion. This is the part of the journey where your identity is shifting. The things you used to accept no longer feel okay. The excuses you once made no longer sit right. The comfort you once enjoyed now feels like a cage. That discomfort is not random. It is intentional. You are shedding an old layer. And shedding feels like loss before it feels like freedom. You feel lost because the old version of you is breaking down. The habits, the beliefs, the limits, they are being challenged. And when those things fall apart, there's a moment where you don't know who you are anymore. That moment feels empty, but it is full of potential. Think about it. Every strong person you admire went through a season like this. A season where nothing made sense. A season where they questioned themselves. A season where they felt alone in their own thoughts. They didn't become strong because life was clear. They became strong because life was unclear, and they kept going anyway. Feeling lost forces you to slow down. It forces you to reflect. It forces you to ask hard questions you avoided before. Who am I really? What do I actually want? What kind of life do I refuse to live anymore? Those questions don't show up when life is comfortable. They show up when change is near. Right now, you might feel like everyone else has it figured out. They seem confident, they seem settled, they seem sure. But you don't see what's behind the scenes. You don't see how many of them are numb, how many of them are stuck, how many of them chose comfort over truth. Feeling lost hurts, but feeling stuck hurts more. At least feeling lost means you are moving. It means something inside you is waking up. It means you are no longer willing to live on autopilot. Your confusion is not a sign to stop. It is a sign to listen. There is a quiet voice inside you right now. It doesn't shout. It doesn't rush. It doesn't panic. It simply says, there is more for you. That voice gets louder when you are still, when distractions fade, when old habits stop working. That is why feeling lost often comes with loneliness, because the noise is gone. And now you can hear yourself. That can be uncomfortable. You might want to go back to old routines, back to old people, back to old habits that made you feel safe. But safe is not the same as strong. Strength is built when you stay in the unknown long enough to learn who you really are. Right now, you are learning. You are learning what no longer matters. You are learning what drains you. You are learning what you will no longer tolerate. That learning feels like confusion at first. You may feel like you don't recognize yourself, like your reactions have changed, like your patience is shorter, like your standards are higher. That's not you falling apart. That's you waking up. The old version of you survived. The next version of you will lead. But leadership starts with self-awareness, and self-awareness often begins in discomfort. You feel lost because you are questioning things you used to accept without thinking. You are seeing patterns you ignored before. You are noticing how certain choices lead to the same empty results. That awareness is powerful. But power feels heavy before it feels empowering. Right now, you might feel tired. Not just physically, but mentally. Tired of pretending, tired of forcing yourself to fit, tired of chasing things that don't fulfill you. That tiredness is not weakness, it is honesty. You are tired of living out of alignment. And alignment always comes after confusion. You don't build a stronger life by keeping everything the same. You build it by breaking what no longer works. Breakdowns come before breakthroughs. Feeling lost is often the first crack. The crack where light gets in, the crack where truth enters, the crack where change begins. If you numb this feeling, you delay growth. If you run from it, you repeat the cycle. If you sit with it, you evolve. You are not meant to have everything figured out right now. You are meant to stay curious, to stay open, to stay brave enough to keep moving without clear answers. Strength is not knowing the path. Strength is walking forward anyway. This phase is teaching you how to trust yourself without outside approval, without praise, without certainty. That is real strength. When you feel lost, you learn how to rely on your values instead of validation. You learn how to make decisions based on what feels right, not what looks safe. You are learning how to stand alone. That skill will serve you for life. Strong people are not strong because they always knew what to do. They are strong because they learned how to stay steady when they didn't. Right now, your job is not to fix everything. It is not to rush into answers. It is not to force clarity. Your job is to keep going. Keep showing up. Keep paying attention. Keep choosing honesty over comfort. Clarity will come later. Strength comes first. You feel lost because the old version of you cannot survive the next level of your life. Something has to change. Something has to fall away. That process feels like grief. You are grieving the person you used to be, the dreams that no longer fit, the identity that once felt safe. Grief is not weakness, it is transition. And transition always feels unstable, but instability is where balance is learned. You are being trained right now. Trained to sit with discomfort, trained to make choices without applause, trained to trust your inner compass. Those are not small lessons. Most people avoid this phase their entire lives. They cling to certainty. They cling to routine. They cling to labels. You didn't. That alone says something about you. You didn't stay numb. You didn't ignore the feeling. You didn't silence the discomfort. You noticed it. And noticing is the first step to becoming stronger. One day, you will look back at this time and understand it clearly. You will see that this was the moment you stopped drifting, the moment you stopped settling, the moment you started becoming intentional. But right now, it just feels messy. Messy does not mean meaningless. This is where your resilience is forming. This is where your courage is being tested. This is where your identity is being rebuilt, brick by brick, choice by choice. You don't need to know who you will be in 5 years. You just need to know what you refuse to be anymore. That is enough direction for now. Refuse to be passive. Refuse to be dishonest with yourself. Refuse to shrink back into comfort just to feel safe. If you feel lost, it means you are no longer asleep. Awakening feels disorienting at first. Your eyes are adjusting to a new level of awareness. And just like stepping into bright light, it takes time before you can see clearly. Be patient with yourself. Strength is not built in one moment. It is built through many small decisions made during uncertain times. You are making those decisions right now. Even by staying, even by listening, even by not giving up, you are becoming someone stronger, even if you don't feel like it yet. Strength does not announce itself. It grows quietly. It grows in moments like this, moments of doubt, moments of confusion, moments where you choose not to quit. You feel lost because the old version of you cannot guide you anymore. And that is a good thing. The next version of you is being built from the inside out. Trust that process. This feeling will not last forever. The fog will lift, the direction will come, the confidence will return. But when it does, you will not be the same person you were before. You will be stronger, more honest, more grounded, more resilient. And one day, when someone else tells you they feel lost, you will understand. You will know that they are not broken, they are becoming, just like you are right now. Stay, breathe, keep going. You feel lost because you're about to become someone stronger.